In recent years, Africa has undergone a transformative journey, one that unearths the resilience, innovation, and economic potential of a continent bursting with opportunity. It's time to redefine this place with limitless possibilities. I am Nomat Ndebele. This is A New Image of Africa. No doubt you've heard of Silicon Valley, but does Silicon Savannah ring a bell? Well, when it comes to the largest emerging tech hubs of the world, Kenya's capital, Nairobi, is way up on the list. Known as Silicon Savannah, Nairobi has grown into an important global player in the technology industry over the last few years. Home to 97% of the country's startups, Nairobi is also the regional base for some of the biggest names in the industry. I'm sure you heard of them. We're talking Microsoft, Visa, and Google, to name a few. Yeah, I'm equally intrigued. Go Kenya! In the tech innovation startup space, Nairobi is an excellent company. Lagos, Cape Town, Kigali, Dakar, and Cairo all have outstanding business initiatives up their sleeves. From fintech, e-commerce, and agricultural innovations, these tech hotspots are paving the way for a new image of Africa. See what I did there? There is no doubt that we are edging forward within the ranks of the world's top innovators. The successes are hard to ignore. Between 2022 and 2023, 711 individual African tech startups raised a combined total of just over $4 billion in funding. Tell me you're not impressed. Let's look at some of these innovative sectors and see just how they're making waves globally. Africa's demand for food is growing every day. And with technological advancements in improved farming techniques, seeds and fertilizers, and agricultural digitalization, the African economy is sprouting more than you can imagine. Let our cup overfloweth. Your health is important, right? Well, friends, from digital emergency platforms to cloud-based hospitals, creative healthcare innovators across Africa are developing disruptive digital health solutions that we just cannot ignore. Building on developments brought on by the pandemic, health tech on the continent is on the brink of explosion. What's next, you ask? Solar-powered hearing aids, perhaps? No way. Oh wait, too late. We're already on top of that. There are approximately 1.3 billion people living in Africa, and that requires a lot of power. While some nations may struggle to keep the lights on, let's not name and shame, you know who you are. Many African innovators are shining. Jokes aside though, around 40% of the total population in Sub-Saharan Africa lack access to electricity. And with Africa being home to 60% of the best solar resources globally, innovators are using the opportunity to light up our rural areas. Not only that, research has shown that renewables, including wind, solar, geothermal, and hydropower, account for over 80% of new generation power capacity by 2023. Exactly, on this continent. I am impressed. All right, enough of my mumbo-jumbo. Let's hear from the professionals. I recently spoke with Ridwan Sorunke from Nigeria, co-founder of Policy Vault Africa, an online repository for government policies, business regulations, laws, and macroeconomic data for countries in Sub-Saharan Africa. Let's hear his views on African innovators. So Ridwan, what excites you most about Africa being an innovation hub?
One, the level of competency of young Africans across the continent. Second, the rising number of innovative solutions that's been deployed within government and the private sector. Third, the massive exposure of African innovations to the global market, as we've seen in Nigeria with Paystack and Flutterwave with FinTech, and in East Africa with One Acre Fund in agriculture. And lastly, it's the innovative work we are also doing at the intersection of policy and government as Policy Vault, where we digitize government policies to ensure greater transparency in governance, but also ensure easier access to government repository across the continent.
What sectors require the most innovation in Africa?
The sector that requires the most innovation in Africa is the public sector. When you compare the public sector with other sectors across the continent, you realize that innovation can actually drive productivity within the public sector, increase efficiency, and also increase overall worker productivity. So I think leveraging innovation from other sectors like technology within the public sector is much crucial.
How can African innovators stand out amongst the crowd?
I think African innovators can stand out by amplifying their work. Second, driving superior communications of their innovation, including their product. And third, leveraging innovative practices from other regions of the world, from North America to Europe. And beyond that is that, African innovators can also embed ingenuity and, cultural diversity that we have on the continent into the various work they do.
Africa is home to the youngest population on the planet. Facts. And we are hungry to succeed. This continent leverages on its vibrant creativity and savvy business acumen to become one of the most dynamic innovation hubs in the world. We have come a long way with successes in agri-tech, fintech, edtech, and health tech, all this tech, and have seen some game-changing solutions helping to create a more resilient Africa for all of us. And with that, I will take a bow. Imagine investing in any of these innovators. What are you waiting for? A new image of Africa. Picture it.